Diesel? Did he just say diesel? Yes, he did. Bluetec refers to an additive, a liquid additive that is injected into the exhaust system to treat the emissions of a diesel engine, to remove the particulates as well as the oxides of nitrogen and other things inherent with the combustion of diesel fuel. Now, on this somewhat windy day, with the beautiful swaying palm trees, you can see that this E-Class diesel looks just like the standard gas engine E-Class, with the exception of the wheels. The wheels are 17-inch instead of 18-inch, and they feature run-flat tires since there is no spare tire. Now, there's no spare tire for one reason. That reason is the Bluetec additive that's injected into the exhaust is about 10 gallons and takes the place of where the spare would normally be in a gas engine car. Aside from that, there is a badge on the rear that indicates that this vehicle is a Bluetec. As you can see, other than that, it looks identical to the gas engine car. Now, diesel. Why would anybody want a diesel? A lot of people that have been around for, or have been in the car market for a while, say the last 30, 35 years, if you've been buying new cars, you probably are familiar with old Mercedes diesels and Peugeot diesels and BMW diesels and the Lincoln Mark 7 diesel. But the one diesel that stays in the hearts and minds of Americans, that would be the GM diesels that they put into the cars back in the late 70s, early 80s, and those were horrible. They were stinky, they were slow, they were smelly, and they were unreliable. And those diesels are really what caused all of these issues or preconceived notions in people's minds of what diesels are all about. Anyone who's owned an old Mercedes diesel like I own and have owned in the past know that a well-kept Mercedes diesel really is just like a modern car in many ways. The smoke that you see out of a lot of the old diesels, diesels naturally produce visible emissions, so a lot of that soot and smoke that you see is naturally occurring. However, when you see diesel cars that are just smoking and smoking and smoking and stinking, there's a problem. They're not running properly. They either have low compression, or the pump, the high pressure, or the diesel engine or fuel pump is running too rich, or it's not timed properly. But an old Mercedes diesel shouldn't produce much in the way of smoke. The new modern Mercedes diesel that we're looking at here produces no visible emissions whatsoever, no odor, no soot. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the tailpipes. If you're really into cars and you look at the small details like these tailpipes, if you look at the tailpipe of a gas engine car, you'll notice a carbon buildup around the inside of the tailpipe after only a few miles of driving. With the diesel, there are none. This engine is cleaner than a gasoline engine, and that is one of the signs. Let's talk about power. Diesels make a lot of torque, and torque, which is the pulling power of the engine, that's really what gets you going and keeps you going. Horsepower is for high speed, high RPM, and if you think of a bodybuilder, that's what torque is. So that big, muscly guy that can lift 1,000 pounds or whatever muscle people can lift, that's what torque is. Power is like a sprinter, a runner, like Carl Lewis or something like that. That high speed is what power is. And a lot of people are under the impression, because of the way vehicles are marketed here in the U.S., that power is what you want, and in reality it's torque. If you have a car that has a lot of torque but not a lot of power, you're actually going to have an excellent, smooth, quiet, comfortable driving experience, and you're going to be able to pull up the Conejo grade and other grades without any issues at all. And are you going to be able to go 180 miles an hour? No. but you're going to have lots and lots of acceleration at low vehicle speeds, which is what you want for smoothness and quiet and comfort. This diesel happens to have a lot of power as well as a lot of torque. It has 400 foot-pounds of torque, and if you know the way diesel engines operate, they don't have to operate at high engine speeds. The car you probably have outside in your garage or your driveway probably has a maximum engine speed of anywhere between 6,000 and 7,000 RPM. The gas engine version of the E350 has a maximum engine speed of 7,000 RPM. The diesel engine goes to about 4,500 RPM, and that's about it, because that 400 foot-pounds of torque is more than enough to accelerate faster at low speeds compared with the 273 foot-pounds of torque that the gas engine produces. And the 200 horsepower of the diesel engine is enough to give you plenty of power at highway speeds. In Europe, this vehicle, which has higher speed-rated tires, goes 155 miles an hour with ease. In the U.S., we use a lower speed tire, which gives you better tire wear and longer tire wear, so the speeds are restricted to 130. But if you were to run this car against a gas engine Mercedes, it would be very comparable. At low speeds, at passing speeds on the highway, this would actually be substantially quicker. Next part about diesels. So we know that they don't stink anymore. We know that they're not slow. What about the noise? A lot of customers that are going to drive a $60,000 car aren't going to want to sound like a tractor or a tractor trailer or anything else. Well, why don't we do a little demonstration here? Let's see what the noise level is on this E350 Bluetec. This one is equipped with keyless go, which allows me to just put my foot on the brake and then hit the start-stop button. Let's take a look here. There's our little over 4,000 RPM is our max engine speed. I'm going to go ahead and start the engine. Let me turn off the air conditioning and the radio. It's a very quiet car. Let me move the door closed and put up the windows. Wow.